The psychology behind how coloring helps reduce stress and anxiety. Most of us simply know that we love coloring. Taking out our favorite coloring tools and filling in an abstract design keeps us focused on the activity at hand. Whether we are by ourselves or with a group of friends, we experience a sense of relief and are given a break from life's issues. But psychologically, what goes on in our bodies to allow us to reach this peaceful state? Cleveland Clinic was interested in this very topic and shared some insightful thoughts from the clinical psychologist, Scott MBEA, Psy.D. According to the article, coloring relaxes the brain. When thoughts are focused on a simple activity, your brain tends to relax. Dr. BEA mentions, we are not disturbed by our own thoughts and appraisals. The difficulties of life evaporate from our awareness, and both our bodies and our brains may find this rewarding. In a separate article, Gordon tells Piedmont Healthcare coloring can be beneficial for adults because it has a distressing effect. The act of coloring requires repetition and attention to detail, so you are able to focus on the activity, rather than your worries. Most importantly, Piedmont Healthcare highlights that as you relax, your brain lowers activity in the amygdala, which is responsible for our fight or flight stress response that can lead to inflammation. Brain scientist Bax claim that coloring replaces negative thoughts. Inner child. When we color, it brings out our inner child. We are reminded of the days when life was simple and our biggest worry was watching our favorite cartoon show. Additionally, concentrating on coloring an image may facilitate the replacement of negative thoughts and images with pleasant ones, Dr. Joel Pearson, a brain scientist at the University of New South Wales in Australia told Medical Daily. In 9MS, Dr. Pearson further explains, you have to look at the shape and size, you have to look at the edges, and you have to pick a color. It should occupy the same parts of the brain that stop any anxiety-related mental imagery happening as well. Going back to the study in the Art Therapy, Journal of the American Art Therapy Association, coloring temporarily prevents colorists from continuing their inner dialogue and to deeply engage in an activity that removes them from the flow of negative thoughts and emotions that can sometimes dominate their lives, pages 81. Cleveland Clinic explains how coloring helps achieve mindfulness. It's no secret that mindfulness is the key to achieving reduced stress levels. Instead of worrying about decisions made in the past or things too far ahead in the future, mindfulness keeps us committed to the present. As revealed in Art Therapy, Journal of the American Art Therapy Association, people who cultivate mindfulness, or awareness and attentiveness to the present moment, also experience lower levels of anxiety, pages 81. So just how does mindfulness tie into coloring? Dr. BEA told Cleveland Clinic adult coloring requires modest attention focused outside of self-awareness. It is a simple activity that takes us outside ourselves. In the same way, cutting the lawn, knitting, or taking a Sunday drive can all be relaxing. By removing ourselves as the focal point for our thoughts, we become immersed in what we are doing in the present moment. When this is accomplished, coloring becomes very much like a meditative exercise, Dr. BEA says. Pew Research Center discusses invasive nature of technology. How can coloring help? Technology everywhere. All day long we use some form of technology. Whether you are stuck at a desk looking at a computer screen or scrolling through Facebook getting updates on your friends, it is very rare that we unplug and enjoy the world around us. Upworthy created a video that captures these exact sentiments. If you are more of a numbers person, the Pew Research Center published a report that displays some alarming statistics in relation to mobile connectivity. 67% of cell owners find themselves checking their phone for messages, alerts, or calls even when they don't notice their phone ringing or vibrating. During sleep, 44% of cell owners have slept with their phone next to their bed because they wanted to make sure they didn't miss any calls, text messages, or other updates during the night. Realizing just how much technology is immersed in our daily lives makes it clear that we need to invest in hobbies that help us unplug. Coloring does just that. For 30 minutes or however long you choose to unwind, technology is left behind as you focus on what is in front of you. Another added value to adult coloring is that you can turn your coloring designs into actual art pieces. Decorating your home with your coloring masterpieces is a great way to share your hobby with visitors. In this way, you are creating rather than consuming, which is the typical exchange we experience with technology. You don't have to be an artist to enjoy adult coloring. The beauty of coloring is that there is no skill level that must be acquired before you are considered an expert. By the time we reach adulthood, it's safe to say a majority of us have accomplished coloring in between the lines. Even if you have never picked up a colored pencil in your life and completed a coloring page, it can still be pleasurable because you have nothing to lose. Dr. Bea mentions in Cleveland Clinic that it is hard to screw up coloring, and, even if you do, there is no real consequence. As a result, adult coloring can be a wonderful lark, rather than an arduous test of our capacities. In addition to this, most colorists have expressed seeing a finished product as one of the reasons they love coloring. Completing a coloring page, whether you are new to the hobby or have been coloring since childhood, provides a sense of accomplishment. The instant gratification we feel continues our wave of positivity, which elicits more happy feelings. Take your love for coloring wherever you